Hello, Magical Mummas, and welcome to episode 28 of the Magical Mothering podcast. I'm Dania Foster, elemental energetics therapist and nurturer of mamas who are struggling with disconnect whilst raising highly sensitive kids. Today, I'm talking about what you really need to be able to stay calm in the moment when parenting highly sensitive kids. You can check out all the show notes at daniafoster.com/blog/episode 28. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. As a highly sensitive, emotionally empathetic mother, it can feel so frustrating when our children are reacting to their own sensitivities, and we just can't take that step back from ourselves and our own triggers to be able to pull together the tools to help guide our child to calm. So it can be so frustrating because, we think this should come naturally to me. I've been living like this for so long. I've been coping. I've been finding ways to adapt and live as an energetic being in the world, as a highly feeling person. You think you should be able to help your own child through this. So you think, that you can meditate and visualize and use affirmations and breath work and, the essential oils that are calming and, to be out taking walks in nature and grounding and, all of this. But it's like when dealing with all of these different emotional and energetic waves on the daily, it's just burning you out, and you're not even getting space for these practices. So what do you really need to be able to stay calm in the moment when the child is having a meltdown, when everything is in a rush and you're trying to get out the door and you end up reacting? What do you really need to stay calm in this moment? What are the tools to be able to step back from yourself and be there for your child? You should be able to take a breath, to ground into your anchor points. Take a moment of silence behind the toilet door to reset. Get your values in front of you and think about, what type of mother do I really want to be? Take a step back and see the big picture and see that, your child is the one that's struggling and they're not really trying to wind you up. They're just having a hard time. But the frustration's really expanding when these simple tasks are just not enough, right? They don't work. So maybe you're just broken. Maybe you're just a bitch of a mother or selfish and you can't stop focusing on yourself long enough to be present for the child. Wrong. No, that's not what's going on here. The thing is that co-regulation, which is what you're looking for, the calm, grounded guide that your child needs to model the calm and the grounded abilities to hold their own energy. Co-regulation can only occur when you yourself are regulated. And mama, you are balancing so many balls in the air right now. You are far from regulated, I'm sorry to say. I know if your child isn't sleeping, then neither are you. If your child is struggling with nutrition, fussy eating, then I'm guessing that you're eating those scraps. You're not getting the balance that you need from your nutrition too. The best tools that you can implement to stay calm in the moment is regulating yourself. You've been in survival mode for far too long, and your body can tell on all levels. Regulation is a holistic approach to self-care. It's about acknowledging and making room for your own emotions that are rising to the surface. So being able to feel, allowing yourself to feel. I know that for so many of us, we have been told that it's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to feel like your needs are not being met, resentful, all of those different things that we have bubbling on under the surface. Make some space to acknowledge what you're feeling and allow yourself to be a feeling person. It's about knowing your needs and how to get them met. What are your basic fundamental needs for safety and stability? So yeah, I'm talking about financial insecurities as well as what your food you're eating, how much sleep you're getting. The physical fundamental things is, are you stressed about your housing? Are you stressed about your bills? Are you stressed about whatever might be going on in your day-to-day life? Okay, this needs attention, as well as your emotional needs, as well as your energetic needs, how much you're giving, as well as your nutritional, your physical, and your hormonal needs. Yes, your cycles need to be addressed and taken into consideration when we are working with regulating your holistic self. Often in our modern motherhood, we can't take many things off your plate. There's a lot to manage and it's often all on you. I get that. So what we can do, though, is help your nervous system to manage the stress levels, to build resilience to the pressures that we are experiencing, the pressures that are existing in your life, and create timelines that allow for rest for the nervous system to reset in a way so that it can complete the stress cycles, so that you're not on a continuous loop to burnout. We also need to acknowledge your spiritual needs, your relationship needs, your sexual needs, your creative needs, because as a mother, you are not just a machine with a task list. You are a human who craves a desire to live life fully and be in feminine flow. So we are creating a space, a safe space for our feminine, and this builds our ability to respond rather than react. So when we do not have a safe space for our feminine to be nurtured, we are not going to be in a space that is overflowing with that energy, which is the ability to respond, to be intuitive, to be nurturing, to be a grounded guide. We're going to be in the action state of reacting, and that's a masculine energy flow. And that's often in a fight or flight space. Okay. We want to be able to be still, send our energy down deep, and just be really present with the situation. This is about knowing your desires and your passions and having them met. So in my work, I call this the sacral pleasure pulse. Okay, knowing your pleasure pulse and feeling that. We need to honoring your unique self. Who are you? What makes you individual? What makes you your weird self? Letting go of all the barriers that you've accepted that separate you from living in lust. Yeah. So we've been taught that to lust is a sin, but lust is simply a part of the pleasure pulse, and denying yourself what lights you up is not actually serving anyone. Now, I trust in your values and your morals, and when you are value aligned, you do not need to fear your lust. It will work for you. To get these elements addressed, we need to be clear and consistent with our boundaries. Boundaries with yourself, as well as your boundaries with others. So that could be your partner, and that is even including your children and people outside of your home, the people around you that have expectations of you. Being clear and consistent with what your boundaries actually are, and knowing how to communicate them with compassion. So compassionate communication, which stems from nonviolent communication practices, making room for them in the rhythm of your days, your weeks, your months, your seasons. So knowing your rhythm, and your rhythm is, as I've spoken about before, what strengthens you? What are your energetic boundaries? What are your limits? How much are you willing to give before you're burning out and in a mode of resentment? So being able to set your rhythm to be supportive to your energy. And this allows you the freedom to unleash your individualized magic. Then the regulation that you're seeking is so much more authentic. It is you, their mother. They intuitively feel your grounded base of safety, knowing who you are and what you stand for. And they feel that base of safety extending out to them to give them shelter, your children. Your aura expands and they can step into it. And their aura will sync with your energy frequency. And this is energetic co-regulation. Once your child feels safe and supported, then you will both grow in the confidence to thrive within your own energy fields. Let me tell you, when my eldest was 3 or 4, she would openly tell me that she needs my energy field. I need you. I need your yellow, was the color that she told me. Color of personal power. I need your yellow because mine's just a big black scary hole. And she would be crying at me, pulling on me, pulling me down to her. She's always been so insightful. Her intuition has floored me multiple times, and she awakened me to myself and my own magic once again. She woke it back up within me. So she would get more and more clingy and wild and more explosive the more I tried to untangle myself from her, to separate ourselves energetically. It was through our healing journey that I learned to give us both an energy bath, which is where I would hold her and just let my energy and hers be together and just focus on the flow of that energy around us. And let it just feel in. You're calling that energy down and around you and feeling it ground into the earth, and just be in that energy together. And allow it to fill in the gaps of our aura, our shared aura, as mother and child dyad. Our aura is strengthening. And the more I strengthened myself and my own energy aura and held her within that bubble, I strengthened my ability to hold her energy, which gave her the confidence to grow her own energy out bigger and bigger and bigger. So as she grew, her confidence has grown, and her confidence is an absolute pleasure to witness now. She is so big and extra, and it's amazing. And I know that when that begins to slip in her, that it's on me, as I'm her guide. It's my responsibility to build my own energy field back up again and shelter her within my bubble in her stormy days. Because I am her guide. I am her safe space. And that's what we go through together in this magical mothering journey, is being able to calibrate our energy systems together. Because us as mothers, we are the energetic center point of the family. The whole family is looking to us to be the stability point. So thank you again for joining me, Dania Foster, for this Magical Mothering podcast. If you enjoy listening to my stories and philosophies, don't forget to click subscribe so you get an update on my next episode, and share it with your friends. I'd also love to invite you to come and circle with me in my online circle collective. I hold space for our magical mothering journey in a sacred container every full and new moon. And together we can share our stories and what's really going on in our worlds and feel nurtured by my guided meditation journeys. You can find that at daniafoster.com/circle, or find me through Facebook. If you'd like a more intimate container to work with me on becoming the grounded guide your child has chosen you to be, come visit my website, daniafoster.com, or shoot me an email at dania@daniafoster.com. So much love and appreciation to you on your magical mothering journey. Lots of love. Bye.